Hello, my darlings. I'm Seren Briar, and welcome to BiteNotes, the recap show for the Vampire, the Masquerade Chronicle, ATL by night. Tonight, we look back at Season 4's Prologue and Chapters 1 and 2. Now, let's sit back, relax, and recap a vampire story. Prologue. Blessed is the match. Following Sirrus's encounter with Amon, he frantically drives to the shepherd's home, crashing his car into the gate. The shepherds rush to help him. Through the pain, Sirrus explains who Dr. Gilbert is and that his sire did this to him as punishment for being unable to complete his contract. Hex contacts Dot and learns that she has a Banu Hakim staying with her. Assuming that Dot's guest is Sirrus's sire, she tells the others. They get Sirrus cleaned up.
Sirrus, do you need to... I'm grasping at straws. Do you need to wash or anything? You're covered.
It's a lot of blood.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Let me show you. So we have washrooms. We have many washrooms. Come.
You're shepherds, right?
That's what they tell us.
You shepherd the lost.
Yeah.
That is also what they tell us.
And now you're found. You're safe. You can breathe.
I'm so lost.
Then we will guide your way.
I don't know who I am anymore.
You will.
And if not, we will make a new one. With you. Come.
Even though Tremere are forbidden from teaching blood sorcery, Anton offers it to Sirrus. It's his right to have as a Banu Hakim. The next few weeks are uneasy. Anton learns that Dr. Gilbert has been moved to the night shift, effective immediately and permanently. Melisanda has been kept busy with her duties as Keeper of Elysium. On the last night of Hanukkah, Falcon has them over for a small celebration in an abandoned underground Atlanta candy store. Even Sirrus attends, although he's supremely awkward and doesn't know what he's doing. After saying the blessings and lighting the candles, the shepherds get a text from Dot Matrix about 2 lost childer at the Margaret Mitchell house. Since Anton has taken over Elijah's teaching job at the school, he wants to take the lead on the retrieval. Raphael, a sunburnt Nosferatu, played by special guest Wes Franks, and Jackson, a punk gangrel played by Ian Muller, are bored and impatient. They've been in the basement of the Margaret Mitchell house for a few days, waiting for someone to pick them up.
Grab the knife, and I'm going to walk over and grab a folding chair, and I'm going to noisily drag it in front of him and just lean and watch him. What you doing?
Twitter.
You got any games on that thing?
No.
What are you doing now?
Talking to you.
What's Twitter saying?
I don't know. I don't know who half these people are. Someone's trending.
What's the fucking point?
Someone named Justin Bieber is trending. I don't know.
Justin Bieber?
Sure.
Fuck, I forget how old you are. Who are we looking for again?
It's people. Someone's looking for us, apparently. I don't know. We were told to wait. You're really, really bad at being patient.
You know, I thought I could have made this more easier for whoever's looking for us. You know, I could have hung out some lights or something out front. We could have put like a tree up or something, maybe a sign that says, "Hey, come and get us. We're new in town."
Remember the last time you did something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured you did. Just no. No, not again. We're not doing that again.
Hexadecimal cloaks her coterie in obfuscate, and they sneak inside the house. The pickup goes relatively smoothly, but Anton is suspicious that these two were told to wait here for them. Jackson and Raphael are both fairly young, but know what they are. Their unlives have been nomadic, and Jackson is more personable than Raphael. At Grace Manor, Jackson and Raphael are given a room, and Olivia brings the shepherds up to her office. Each Primogen has received a mysterious letter on their nightstands, typed on generic Emory Hospital letterhead. It simply reads, "For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and on the unjust." It's Matthew 5:45. Because of the Bible verse, this looks a lot like Sabbat. Meanwhile, in their room, Jackson and Raphael open their window to let Bishop Lydia in. Their assignment is to infiltrate the Atlanta Camarilla, which Bishop Lydia is confident they'll be able to complete. If they let Dot be in charge of anything here, this isn't a true Camarilla. Lydia's congregation is already hard at work.
I've got the Furies working on a handful of anarchs we found in College Park. The Gladiators are working on Ventru Tower as we speak. The Blackjacks have already pinpointed 2 consistent routes of some key players, and the Moonrunners have already discovered some encrypted files in the military base labeled Operation Black Star. Whatever
Sounds
that
ominous.
means. Whatever it means, I'm sure it's gonna be real fun. I need the 2 of you to play pretty with everyone else here. For now.
Not a problem.
They stink.
Not a problem.
The Rogues.
Everyone stinks to you.
The Rogues have a member that has a cousin that just went through here. Her name's Jenna. She was recently relinquished to the gang role, so there's a path for you, Jackson. As for you, Raphael, I need you to endear yourself to the Nosferatu Primogen however you see fit. She's not nearly as ivory as everyone else would like her to be. At least, not if she's the person I remember.
Jackson and Raphael can have the Hurricanes, their pack, back when they deliver some meaningful information. Later that night, across the city, Bishop Lydia reshapes her face into something terrifyingly beautiful, preparing to properly introduce herself to the Prince of Atlanta. Chapter 1. Eye for an Eye. Eren meets Anton at the Lost Childer School. Despite Anton's suspicions, there hasn't been any real evidence yet that Jackson and Raphael are Sabbat. Thinking that a less controlled environment might yield some leads, he invites Jackson to come with them to a Waffle House Elysium. Jackson jumps at the chance to get out of the school for a night. Eren receives a call from Mooney. One of her Garu got into a fight at a Waffle House with a woman who's clearly some sort of supernatural. She wants the incident kept off of Melisandre's radar and asks the boys to look into it. Eren, Anton, and Jackson arrive at the Waffle House in question. One of the larger windows is shattered from the inside, and the only patrons are a goth woman and her companion, a tall, thin, bald man. Anton reminds Jackson about the rules of Elysium, but uses his own power to sense the unseen. With Auspex, the bald man is larger, with tattered dark robes, decaying bony hands, and no face. The woman is Talia Graves, a Euthanatos mage from South London, who has recently moved from Los Angeles to Atlanta with her brother. Her companion's name is Ray, and he doesn't speak. According to Talia, she was having a conversation with a man named Streetwise about Star Wars. He disliked her opinions about Solo so much that he turned into a wolf, so she kicked him in the nose and he jumped out the window. Anton examines the broken glass while Aaron and Jackson get Talia's story and phone number. Talia's uneasy at first, but after using some magic to discern their intentions, she relaxes. Although Talia is cooperating, Anton wants her to come with them to talk to Streetwise. She would rather go out drinking, but Anton tries to convince her to stay. Talia excuses herself to the bathroom, where she disappears, Ray not far behind her. Aaron reports back to Mooney, who accepts Talia's version of events and will have a word with Streetwise. She asks Aaron to look into the Monaco Staffing Agency, a company that may be associated with Pentax. On the way to the staffing agency, Jackson and Aaron almost get into a tiff about cats versus dogs.
I can get really small.
Like shape change into a mouse? Kind of small?
Cat.
Okay. Any reason it's a cat?
Because I like cats.
Oh, he likes cats.
People who don't like dogs.
All right. Let's dissolve this before it gets worse.
Yeah. Tend to be overlooked. That's all I'm saying.
What'd you make of him at the Waffle House?
He's interested in graduating.
Go figure.
Inquired about the Gangrel compound. Wants to check it out.
I imagine he would, being a gangrel.
Don't know why he likes cats, though.
Some people are cat people. Some people are dog people.
Wrong people.
Some people are birds.
Now, I'm not sure about that one. Or do mages shift into birds? Okay.
In Bobcat form, Jackson sneaks into the Monaco office building. He destroys the Ring doorbell and, not finding any other cameras, lets Anton and Aaron inside. 3 of the offices have nameplates: Rosano, Corbett, and Martel. Aaron investigates Rosano's, Anton takes Corbett's, and Jackson goes into Martel's. Each office contains a desk, a large filing cabinet, and a locked, shorter filing cabinet. Martel is the CEO, so his office is a bit nicer. He has 2 locked short cabinets and a door to an executive washroom. In Martel's office, Jackson finds a records book of employee test scores. The highest scores are marked Process for Brooks. Despite their attempts to be sneaky here, Aaron loudly rips open Rosano's locked filing cabinet with feral weapons. The noise startles something in Martel's office, and a horrible cacophony of strange animalistic noises starts up from behind the washroom door. Jackson retrieves Anton to check it out. Anton makes himself incorporeal and sticks his head through the door. Behind the door isn't a washroom at all, but a dark stairwell leading down. In Rosano's destroyed filing cabinet, Aaron finds typing tests, also marked for Brooks. He takes a couple of them and joins the others in Martel's office. The boys sneak down the stairs and reach a concrete basement with 5 industrial refrigerator doors and 2 regular doors. A toilet flushes, and they quickly hide. A tall, thin man with pale blonde hair, tortoiseshell glasses, and a nice plaid suit emerges. Anton disappears into a wall, and Eren and Jackson quickly try to sneak up the stairs. Jackson misses a step and loudly catches himself, alerting the man to their presence. Chapter 2: In All My Dreams I Drown. After getting the go-ahead from Eren, Jackson launches himself down the stairs and pins the man to the floor, digging his barbed claws into his shoulders. This close, Jackson realizes that the man is Gabriel Martel, the CEO of Monaco Staffing Agency. Eren interrogates Martel, with Jackson digging his claws in deeper when they don't get answers Eren likes.
I'm gonna get closer
Okay.
and expend Shadowcast
Okay.
and creep my shadow underneath him to kind of suppress some willpower damage to him.
Okay.
That is cocked. No hunger. And I'm just gonna roar up some intimidation factor and just say, "Shut up."
Okay. And so the shadow pulling against his very will in person, as you tell him to shut up, he just lays his head back, still hissing from the pain of these much more enhanced feral weapons that are sunk into his shoulders.
What the fuck are we doing? Getting answers and info.
Martel insists that this is just a staffing agency until Eren knocks him out cold. Anton emerges from the wall and sticks his head through the industrial fridge doors. Inside each is the same thing: Gabriel Martel. When Anton tries to scry the soul, he's flooded with multiple different answers at once, like he's looking at a crowd of people. A car pulls up outside, and someone enters the building, confused and furious. Eren, Anton, and Jackson flee through one of the back doors and into the parking lot. Anton lingers just long enough to figure out that the person who has just arrived is yet another Gabriel Martel. The boys quickly drive to the nearest Waffle House. Anton texts the rest of the shepherds to meet them there. When they get to their destination, Jackson's hungry. He prefers to feed off of other kindred, and Anton gives him some of his own blood in a cup, so as not to incur a blood bond. Earlier that evening, Melisande woke up to a quiet, empty house. She does paperwork until Anton's text comes in. Concerned about what the boys might have gotten themselves into, she meets them at the Waffle House. When Mel arrives, everyone fills her in on their adventures at the staffing agency. She contacts Mooney and asks her to meet them. While they're waiting for Mooney, Melisande notices that Anton seems a little down and suddenly remembers that it's his birthday. She rushes to the kitchen and hurriedly has the waitress help her put together a birthday plate of pie and cookies covered in blood with a cigarette instead of a candle.
We're gonna scurry over with the plate, and I'm just, okay, ready? Happy birthday to you, and then we're gonna sing the whole song. Put it in front of him and be like, there you go. I didn't have any candles,
And
so
she puts a plate of cookies with blood poured over it and a lit cigarette in the middle.
Sorry.
You know, somehow, this is the most fitting fucking representation of the night. I'm literally just pulling the lit cigarette out, like, and with like the blood on the butt, and I'm just putting it out, and I'm just smoking it in the middle of the Waffle House.
don't tell anybody. Sorry.
Okay.
Forget you saw.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mooney arrives drunk. The boys tell her what they discovered at the staffing agency, including the name Brooks, the interrogation, and the multiple Martells. The next night, the shepherds get a text from Alpha asking them to come to the High Museum to help a special guest get acclimated to the city. Because of the High Museum's kindred history and his persistent suspicions about the Sabbat, Anton once again brings Jackson along for a field trip. Anton, Jackson, Aaron, and Mel meet Alpha at the museum, where he introduces them to Miss Angelina Crawford, a Toreador elder from near Raleigh, North Carolina. There are a lot of anarchs where Angelina lived, so when she had a feeding accident, she fled to the nearest Camarilla city. Alpha instructs the shepherds to help her get settled by finding her somewhere to live. That isn't in their job description, but they can be flexible. On their way out of the museum, Anton pulls Jackson aside for a history lesson. The High Museum was Elysium in Atlanta for decades, until the Sabbat raids began in 1999. They came into the High and executed the prince, as well as any other Camarilla kindred they could find. Anton shows Jackson where he hid while it all happened. In the car, they decide to take Angelina to Ponce City Market first. She can afford to live pretty much anywhere in the city. Her father had an investment in the military-industrial complex that was left to her when he died, and although she doesn't like the business, it's profitable and convenient to have a share of. The shepherds, plus Jackson, take Angelina to look at some of the area of Ponce City Market, and she absolutely loves it. She's already planning ways to help grow the street art. Since this is Tilly's domain, Anton checks with her, and Angelina is given the go-ahead to purchase whatever she wants. When everything has been settled, Jackson receives a text from Lydia. She has what she needs, and will give his pack back relatively unharmed. The bishop has taken very good care of them. Thank you for tuning in to BiteNotes. Remember, liking, commenting, and subscribing does not violate the Masquerade. You can view full episodes of ATL by Night on our YouTube channel. We stream Tuesdays at twitch.tv/ATL by Night. Remember to support us on Patreon and follow us on Twitter. Until next time, good night.